Hey, hey. Ahoy, Scallywags. Happy 2026. Marine Tech Matt and Mike here to give you guys your first update of the year. As always, tons of awesome, amazing stuff happening here at Marine Tech. We're super excited to share with you. Number one, we've got Professor Beemer, Mike, back here in the house after his long voyage around the Northwest Passage on one ocean. So we're very excited to have him back. He's excited to be back with students here in the labs. Just started our winter quarter. Our mechanical students are rocking it with these engines behind me, out there, outside, running them, doing all sorts of services on them. Electrical students are getting deep into AC electrical systems. So tons of fun stuff happening. And a couple other cool things to share with you right now.
What's this?
Look at this beauty. This is a D4 230 horsepower, fully electronic common rail engine. Just completed as a training aid. Huge thanks to our volunteers, Bill, Bob, and Charlie. This thing is beautiful. Pride of the fleet. I mean, look at it.
They built it all.
It's
0 hours.
It's gorgeous. So we're really excited to fire this off and have it as a training aid for our mechanical students. And tell us about that blue thing sitting there.
Yeah, so all things AC, shore powers and panels, distribution, includes inverters, of course. The Anacortes Marine Trades asked what we needed, and I said, we need to upgrade our equipment. They said, sure, we love to support the school. And so we ordered a whole bunch of new Victron multi-plus inverters.
So cool. Small.
Control panels, small, easy. They fit in here. We're in good shape. But what I really want to talk about is our professional courses.
Yes. So as you guys know, we've been doing professional canvas courses for the past couple of years. It's been a huge success, really offering folks out there in the industry already who want to maybe change directions or focus on starting their own business. So that's been hugely successful. But the big one that we're ready to fire off here at the end of February is marine surveying. So tell us more about
so surveying. That. So the canvas is like a 2-month intensive, and upholstery, canvas, the whole works. Industrial machines, super successful, right? And so we listened to the community and lots of need for marine surveying.
Yep.
Every time, boats are sold and banks get involved and insurance companies and things, we need, professionals in our industry that can go out and, evaluate the boats.
Well, so many surveyors are retiring right now.
Oh,
right?
Huge
It's
number
like
of
lots of
retired.
industry. It's just a huge void that needs to be filled.
If you're out there and you know a bit about boats and you like standards and figuring things out, it's a great opportunity. We're going to start February. Like Canvas, we'll run it a couple times a year. You get more information on our website. But what's it all about? Turns out former Skallywag Zach is down at the marina today surveying a boat because that's what he does.
Zach came through our program, became a professional surveyor himself, runs his own business. He's awesome. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, so let's
go visit him.
We'll visit Zach and we'll interview a couple surveyors and show you what this industry is all about.
Absolutely. All right, let's do it.
Do it.
And we're talking about surveying today. You're running your own company now, Kingspoke.
I am. Gosh, I was in school with you in 2017, so I've been doing it since then. And basically, I went to your school to fill in gaps in my knowledge because I decided I wanted to be a marine surveyor. I wanted something that could help me stay at home more rather than a lot of maritime jobs which take you away, something that made a decent wage and something that was in the maritime field. And I was lucky enough to know David Jackson, also a local Anacortes guy, who's a surveyor, and he let me follow along and then mentored me and helped me get into the National Association of Marine Surveyors, NAMS, which is one of the 2 big surveying associations in the United States. So
perfect. What would you say are the 3 most important things for somebody who's considering this as a career, to be a surveyor and look at boats?
Yes, the 3 things that are most important to a surveyor, I think, are, one, obviously you have to be passionate about boats. There isn't always the nice side of boating. There's the getting into bilges and getting dirty, and you've got to love all of it. I like to say I'm a boat nerd at heart because I just want to know more all the time. You have to be able to sit down and write a report, generate a report, which is it's one of those things that is a barrier to entry for a lot of great marine techs because they know boats, they're good at their craft, and they're like, I could transition to surveying, but you have to recognize that The other half of the job is you're on a computer, you're sending contracts, you're filling your schedule, you're communicating what you do and how you do it to potential clients, you're marketing. So there's a whole other side of surveying that isn't just being on the boat. You have to have attention to detail for sure. So when I'm conducting a survey, when I'm holding survey, I'm going through the boat meticulously from bow to stern, from flying bridge down to bilges. We're looking at everything. We're trying to find anything that looks awry. And as boats become more complicated, it used to be that surveyors were just hull and structure. That was our job. Is the boat in sound condition? But now, especially with yachts and pleasure craft, there are so many systems that we have to be familiar with. So I like to think of myself as a first line of defense. Like I'm here for the safety of my client and the safety of their boat, and I need to have enough knowledge in everything to know when something's not quite right, and then to be able to say to my client, this needs more investigation. Go talk to a diesel mechanic, go talk to a rigger, go talk to a marine electrician and get this sorted. So first line of defense.
First line of defense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you get back to your surveying today, but it's always good to see you.
Yeah, a pleasure, Mike.
Well, that was great talking with Zach and down on that boat he was surveying. And now we're back at the Marine Tech Center with David Jackson, who's taken classes and been involved with our school for many, many years and is a surveyor. So what are your thoughts on this career path of being a marine surveyor?
Well, Michael, I think being a marine surveyor is a wonderful career. Marine surveyors are the dragons at the gate of the marine world. We're representing standards. We're representing good practice. And so, of course, we need to know what that is, which is, of course, why I went to school and took your classes. But it also gave me continuing education credits, which I needed. So marine surveying you can break it up into two parts. One is you have to do the work of the survey itself, which is the inspection. And it's usually a second career for most people because you have to have some belly. You have to have some understanding of the marine world, how it works, and how boats work. But then mostly, more importantly, you have to be able to write a report that elucidates what you find. And it's not speculation, it's not opinion, it's fact. And since the reports are the only thing that we produce, it's important that the survey reports be legible, understandable, and competent.
Most excellent. Yes, I mean, this is great. We're excited about this new class. We're excited to grow people, continuing education, all of that stuff, David. And we definitely need some more surveyors.
Oh, we definitely do, because most of us are older and aren't that long for the profession. So we need to bring new people in. And Zach is a perfect example of that. He's now been a surveyor for 5-10 years,
something like
that. And
excellent. Okay. Yeah, it's a fun world.
It's a great career too.
Yeah.
Pays well.
Yeah, and just
be your own boss. Set your own hours. Now, of course, then you have to do the work.
Just got to do the work. That's the thing. But we're looking for some more people that are interested in doing this.
We need new people.
If you're interested, come send me an email. Send me a note.
Talk to Michael.
That's right. So thanks for stopping in today. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure, Michael.
Okay, that was great. We had a couple of interviews with former Scallywags who are, surveying. I'm now here with Mike Reese, and we want to give you some more details about this professional course that we developed. So Mike teaches for Skagit. He also teaches for ABYC, does week-long trainings and stuff like this. Sure. And so I'd like to just give viewers an idea of what to expect, when they come and take this class, at Skagit Valley College.
Sounds great. Well, and you're right, Mike, we have been talking about this for several years at this point, and we've spent multiple years talking to other people and really defining a curriculum we think is the most impactful for students. So it's a 9-week course. Starts in where we talk about the marine surveying field in general, so the different tasks that are required. We'll focus on yachts and small craft for this particular course, looking at really a recreational boat, boats that really we see out on the water every day.
That's what we do here. We get 1,000 of them here in Anacortes.
That's right,
or more. Yeah.
for sure. And they all need to be surveyed at some time,
Exactly.
right? But we'll start on generally what the marine surveying field is and what it takes to be a marine surveyor. Then we look at the tools and equipment that you need in order to carry out the role, including both the actual tools as well as software tools that you can use to write reports more easily. Then from there we talk about fiberglass boats, how they're built. We really look at it from through the lens of a marine surveyor, though. So our understanding of how boats are constructed help us understand what we might be looking at or inspecting out on the water.
And the cool thing about taking classes here in Anacortes is you all can come here into the lab. We've got samples here. We've got boats like this. We've got boats on the hard in the water. So students will get out and be on board boats.
It's a really important point. So there are aspects of the course that need to be lecture based so that we make sure that we go through the standards and the right kind of best practices that we need to be looking for, both federal regulations as well as just industry best practices. So we talk about that, but then we go into the field, we survey boats to really get a tangible understanding of being out on the water every day and surveying boats. So the course is a really nice blend of lecture as well as actual survey work.
Yeah.
One of the fun things that we've, not fun things, but one of the things that we've done to make sure that's as impactful as possible is we've pre-surveyed some of the boats so that we have a sense of some of the deficiencies we hope that students will find. And that will help as a really nice feedback mechanism, I think, to make sure that people are finding the types of things that we'd expect on a real survey.
For sure. And then we wrap up the thing with industry certifications, ABYC, because that's part what we train here. You know, our electricians will do electrical, and so the surveyors also will do a couple 3 classes, ABYC. You know, we're one of their MTAP schools, so they'll get that. And those actually are opened up. Anybody can take those because we typically will have somebody from a local boat yard, you know, that wants to get their electrical. And that's a week-long segment at the end. Yeah. So the surveyors will go through that and others that want some of the hands-on training to really kind of wrap up this training that they're getting, right?
Well, absolutely, yeah. So one of the tangible things students will leave the course with is a master advisor status with ABYC. Having gone through those additional certifications allow them to have that designation, so they get that opportunity. And like you said, Mike, it's a really great opportunity. A lot of the courses I teach for ABYC are online. I do both in person and online, and this really gives professionals in the Washington area to sit in on just those weeks that we're doing certifications and become a certified technician or certified advisor, depending on their career path.
They're going, yeah. So it's going to be great. It's exciting. We're going to run this course a couple times a year. Right. So if you're watching this video, it doesn't matter. You know, you can get a hold of us. You can email Mike, and we can give you more information and dial it in. But we're excited. Professional courses. We try to do it all here on the West Coast, and so look forward to having some students come and, you know, get some training.
And just if you are interested in more information, not quite ready to talk to us yet, we do have a recorded webinar that we gave for people who were interested in the course. And so you can check that out on our site.
Absolutely.
Or you'll, I'm sure, post a link.
I will, for sure.
So you can always check that out as well.
Excellent.
Good deal.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.